Welcome to the Fools Rush In STFC podcast. As usual, your weekly roundup of all things STFC, not necessarily the most serious, but always the most enjoyable. And I am joined today by Rich, by Adam, and Ned is here as well. Good evening, gents.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Some nice colour on display, it has to be pointed out. We got Rich there sporting some nice pink and purple. We got yellow and green. Oh, sorry, no, we have to use the official term gold and green, don't we, Ned?
Gold.
Yes.
How are we, lads?
Not bad. Not bad.
Good. Rich?
Yeah.
Rich,
Not too bad.
You right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not bad, mate. No, all good. Yeah, definitely a good week of, well, not a bad week of Swindon.
Well, there's no bad weeks at the moment. The positivity remains regardless. And I'm pleased to say Ben has also joined us as well. How are you, pal?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Let's jump straight into it. Unfortunately, it was defeat last time out for Swindon. What did you all make of the game? I will start as you appear on my screen. So, Rich, what did you think of the result?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of positives to take out of the game. I mean, you could tell straight away that the lack of training, lack of pre-season was definitely starting to settle in a little bit. Quite a few tired legs. We gave it everything last Saturday against Scunthorpe. We got a great result there, and not a bad result in midweek either against Cambridge. It was obviously a 0-0 draw, but from what I heard, I wasn't at that game, but from what I heard, there was definitely a lot of positives from that as well. And I just think it's more of a system now that Ghana needs to figure out, because there was a lot of gaps that we were leaving in the formation that we were playing on Saturday. But as an overall performance, I think there was a couple of players that made their debuts that weren't really sticking out, to be quite honest with you. Not in a good way. I mean, I think first player I've got to pick up on is Reed. I just didn't think his play was that great. But hopefully that was just nerves, and hopefully he'll be back and he'll put in a better performance next week or next time he plays.
No, absolutely. And as you alluded to there, time is as much a factor as anything. Obviously, none of them they haven't all been together for long at all. So as much as it's getting that rhythm, getting that touch, get individually getting their game back in order, they've also got to learn about their teammates and get that telepathy of who's going to be where and when. Ben, I'll come to you on the game as well, because I know you put together quite a dossier for us on your thoughts. So please let's make it a bit more public. What did you make of the game?
Well, I mentioned at half time that I thought we looked a good side out of the sink. So pretty much what Rich has said, actually. I think just time together and just fitness. And I think they'll start to pick up and play a lot better. They look like a team that only played together for 3 weeks. And we were against a side who are extremely well drilled. I don't think there was much defensive error apart from my goal from Carlisle or game. They had no frills. I thought we had the better team as an ability-wise. I think we were more creative than them. I think we actually worked at the chances that we had to do, and we created openings, whilst all the Carlisle openings were from our own fault. Their first goal was a good goal, but apart from that, I can't remember a single chance they had that was built on them being creative and carving us open. It was rather us overplaying it, trying to do the Hollywood ball, being caught in possession, or just overhitting or underhitting a pass. So once they play more together, that will cut out. I agree with Rich as well about Reed's first game. I thought it was patchy at best. However, he's been with us a week. So I think the squad and the players deserve a bit of a free pass going into September. If it's still like it in October, then I think we've probably got a right to moan. But at the moment, they're still just finding out about each other's game. I think Scunthorpe was really good because Scunthorpe were really bad. And I think they'll struggle this season. So yesterday was a good test, and tomorrow's going to be an even good one because Tranmere are going to be there or thereabouts this season. So we'll see where we are, especially when we're missing one of our best players.
Ben mentioned then, it's something I spotted a lot while scouring through social media. Defensively, similar problems. Some people are saying we look as a unit better defensively, but we're still making the same sort of defensive errors. Is that a fair reflection?
Yeah, I'd say that. I think a lot of our issues are our own doing. I personally, if we're going to bring anyone in, would love a sort of a 32-year-old unwinding down from the Championship just to work with the young defenders like Aiken and Rom and all that. I think Conroy will get better, but he's liable to get injured. And Bowdry's, I think Bowdry's used sparingly, in my opinion, if I'm honest. But I thought defensively we looked okay. I just think they just need more games.
To be fair, Ben, we haven't had the Ned report yet, so let's see if there's any ex-Championship players on there.
And sorry, Adam, bringing you in as well on that point defensively.
Yeah, I think personally, I think the defense did okay on Saturday. The first goal was when I watched it back, I thought what a goal that was, to be fair. He shouldn't have had that amount of space, but I mean, that was a well executed goal, let's be honest. Sometimes you just got to applaud it. The second goal was the problem for me, and I don't really think that was our defence. I think there was a lot of lack of control from Jojo Wollacott in the area there as well.
Completely agree, mate. Completely agree.
Yeah, which is strange because there are areas of the game where you see him come out and claiming corners, and you're like, absolutely fantastic. But then there are times like that where you think you should have claimed that really, or told your defenders to get it out. It seemed like it was almost like a schoolyard playground. It just came running in, and everybody was trying to, volley the air. I hate losing. Everybody who knows me knows that I hate losing regardless of how well we played. But that was probably the least deflated I've ever been. I probably slightly disagree with some others who I've read on social media. I don't think Carlisle were that great. I don't think they were that much better than Scunthorpe, but they were organised. Like Ben said, they were very, very well organised. It was almost like it was the game plan that won the game. As soon as even before they scored, they were slowing the game down, and just everything just seemed to click right for them. And you got to take the hats off; they knew what they were doing. But I thought in terms of games that I've seen us lose, and I've seen us lose a lot, I think it was probably one of our better performances as a loss. But it's the exact reason why I didn't get too hyped up about beating Scunthorpe. And it wasn't because it was only Scunthorpe. It was because it was the first game of the season. And as we now know, we now hold the record, I think it is, isn't it, for the most amount of opening day wins. And it's
yeah.
So I wasn't too downhearted. I actually, Rich will know, one of our mates' dads, he goes to the game, and one thing he said that August really is just friendlies. It's just friendlies, just to kind of let's get the team used to each other, let them get fit, start worrying about what happens in September. If we can get, how many games we've got? If we can get 7 to 9 points out of this month, that's an achievement for me to start with. I'll start worrying in September if we're losing games in September continuously.
And just before I throw it over to Ned, can I also get your opinion, please, Woody, on the red card and more so what it means going forward? Obviously, it's just the one game bangs, it's 2 yellows, but
yeah, I mean, the first one, it was a second yellow, wasn't it? I mean, it's quite important we get that. It was a silly yellow, but it's just stuff he's going to learn with experience not to do that. The first one shouldn't have been a yellow anyway, in my opinion. So he'll be missed. He will be missed. It sounds like he's passed away, doesn't it? But he will be missed. But I I feel quite confident in us on the wings at the moment. I think we've got options there that we'll be able to fill in for one game. I'm glad it's only one game. And also, sorry, just on the Louis Reed point, there were two players I felt that I wasn't impressed with at all on Saturday, and that was Tyrese Simpson and Louis Reed. I know it's Louis Reed's first game, but I'm thinking realistically, he just shied away. I think is probably the right term.
I think it's the reputation he's got as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Tyrese Simpson, yes, he was brilliant in that last half hour against Scunthorpe. Absolutely, he was very good in that last half hour. But the problem is now we've now seen him for 120 minutes, and he's only been effective for 30 minutes of those. So I'm going to give him a break because he is only 19 years old. But we need somebody in there. We need somebody else in there as well. Even for him to learn off. I think Ben made a fantastic point earlier about having someone to come in and talk to the youngsters and get them through. Just somebody who he can just learn the game off, because we will score goals this year. And I just think if we can get that 10 or 15 goal striker, which Simpson might not be, then I think we'll be more than fine. Sorry, Ned, I'm stealing your time now.
And let's be honest, it's not that long ago we've been in a situation we've had young sort of 18, 19, 20-year-old strikers who have found it difficult to score in front of goal. Ned, bringing you in, and if I can open up a point that Woody actually made, and something that I commented on Twitter, with regards to how the fans react. Football is a very emotive game, and there are a lot of knee-jerk reactions, but it's important the same way that, for example, the group of us that do this, we didn't get carried away after Scunthorpe, is the same reason not to get too downbeat, deflated after Carlisle.
Absolutely. And I'm sure I get slated for this, but being in the town end, you can hear so many of those types of opinions, unfortunately. you make one misplaced pass, and all of a sudden you're the worst player on earth. Go and join blooming Taylor Curran at Maidstone, whatever. But it's so important not to jump on that. We need to continue this positive momentum. It is what it is at the moment. Let's just get bedded in, and just say if 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we could then start to be a little bit critical. But at the moment, everyone's so new in their roles. The style of football's completely changed from last season. So even all the players that we did have are all starting to learn all over again. So just give them time. Just going on to the game, I know that one player that got slated a hell of a lot on social media and in the town end is McCurdy, and which to be perfectly fair to him, this is his old, this is his old club, isn't it? So they've done an absolute wonderful job on him, in my opinion, by nullifying all of his strengths. I think the credit goes to Carlisle rather than criticism for McCurdy, because I as it's been said already, I think Carlisle are not the most skillful, but they were so professional, they're so canny, veterans. It's just one of those things. And I think they were also like kings of the shithousery as well. There were so many instances of shithousery, which I don't think any of our players were shown in that game. But they're just like canny League Two professionals, aren't they? So I think we played extremely well. The first half hour, I was there with my son, and I was just kept on looking. I was like, oh my god, this is so good! Look at that pass! Look at that, the pass out there. I was absolutely in awe of some of the work. But it's just a shame, really. I think we created so many chances. In fact, we should have created so many chances. It's just I hate to pick on the one person, but bless him, Tyrese Simpson, just not in the right places at the right time, and he's just a bit green between the ears. you look at him, he's got all the attributes of being the next Romelu Lukaku or something, but it's just not there for him at the moment. It's just not there for him. I mean, he's such a obviously on No Stranger they kept on saying the word unit, but he really is a proper unit, isn't he? I mean, he should be bullying those defenders. In the second half when I think they made a substitution and a slightly smaller lad come on and marked him. I was thinking, God, he's really going to win his aerial battles now. And then it still didn't happen. But, I mean, I want to give a sort of big shout out as well to Yandolo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when he come on, he was massive. I mean, obviously all of our attacks come down the right-hand side, but soon as Yandolo come on, I mean, there was so much more creation, so much more pace. We come down the left, they didn't know where to go. He was putting some, crosses into the sweet spot, but there was no one there. There was just no one there. It's just such a shame. But yeah,
you can hear it in your voice.
I mean, I'm the opposite to Woody. He didn't feel too disheartened because, we played well. But I'm the other way around. I'm like, we played well, so why didn't we bloody win? But, it is what it is.
We move on to the next one. And,
sorry. Exactly. Yeah.
And there's still, as you've all alluded to, there's still plenty of positives to go forward and not think, oh, no, we've lost to Carlisle, the season's over already. It wasn't just the men's team that played this weekend. Woody, could you give us your weekly assessment of what's gone on at the STFC ladies, please?
Yeah, so the first team kicked off their campaign on Sunday against AFC Bournemouth. Drew 1-1. I wasn't actually there because I was with the development team. They won 5-0, but that was a pre-season friendly against Cirencester. But yeah, I guess still a thing. Rich is now gone, so now I'm going to be making up to pretend I saw what happened at the first team. But he's back. But yeah, Rich was there, so he'd be able to give a better review of the first team. But yeah, from what I've had from the feedback from the guys, a 1-1 result was drawn. Bournemouth are working with a good budget, so they're going to be a good team good team this year. Obviously, I know Bournemouth from Abingdon's league last year, and they were successful in upper promotion. But I think there were some standout performances from my understanding. Rich might be able to say more. I mean, obviously, Emily in goal. She's only 17, and I think is starting to circulate around social media now, that save that she pulled off in the second half. And obviously, Sophie Mitchell, Sophie Mitchell, who is trying to get into the first team, trying to break in. And yeah, okay, there's question marks over the AFC Bournemouth goalkeeper at that point, but I've seen plenty of men's keepers let shots loop in like that go in, and it was the 92nd minute or something like that. Everybody's getting tired and all that, so I think fair play to Sophie for picking that out at that time and taking a gamble, as I think she's quite well known for doing. She's a good player. I've rated her since I've come in the door. I've enjoyed watching her play a few times. So I think she's another one to watch. But without hopefully the scouts or the mini Neds aren't hanging around. I think Emily Grogan, I think her surname is it was the standout performer, and with 17 years old to be pulling off saves at the fourth tier of women's football. You got fair play to her. But Rich, you were there. You probably give a better overview of the game.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good game. I thought it was quite cagey at the start. I thought Bournemouth were very lucky to actually get their goal, to be quite honest. It came out of absolutely nothing. And it was just one of those things that couldn't be cleared off the line. That stuff happens in football. But I thought from a possession side of game, I thought it was very, very even. And I heard you said on the touchline when Sophie was actually brought on as a second half substitute, it was like 30-yarder from you, and she went and did it. My back was actually turned when she actually originally shot, and I saw it hit the crossbar and come down, and it went in. And I looked behind and I asked, "Was that Sophie that scored that?" I was like, and I was just like, wow, it was an incredible strike. But yeah, no, she is well known for doing that. She did it in a pre-season match, I think a few weeks ago. She hit one from about 35 yards. So it's not uncommon for her to do that. And the goalkeeper, wow. I mean, I'm absolutely lost for words. I've seen her 2 weeks in a row now. And honestly, her commandment of her area, she just takes things in her stride. It's absolutely amazing to watch. And I watched the goalkeeping warm up quite closely as a goalkeeper myself. I just find it fascinating to watch. I absolutely love the goalkeeper warm ups, and it really does show how mature she is for a 17-year-old. To be pulling off incredible saves like she has done. And that one in the second half yesterday was absolutely incredible. And it's brilliant to watch them at the moment. You know, they're definitely a team that have ambition, and definitely a team that are gonna cause problems this season. And hopefully enough, they'll get promoted.
Well, if I may then, on behalf of everyone at Fools Rush In, congratulations to both the ladies singled out there, and to both teams. As you say, Woody, your development side had a big win as well, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, thanks. And there are, I can't remember who they're, I was just trying to Google it. I can't even remember who they're playing this weekend. But the first team will be playing on Sunday. I think they're away. I just can't remember. Portishead, that's it. And then they've got a midweek fixture as well, which the following week against Cheltenham, which I'm probably going to try and plug a little bit. So I think it's a Wednesday night.
I think it's a cup as well, a cup game as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and plug that a little bit to try and see if we can get some people along to watch that on a Wednesday night.
If only we had a local fan who was also considered something of a Cheltenham fan to. But no, if you can, please get down to the women's games as well. That they deserve and warrant the support just as much as the men's team do. So please, if you can, get down to watch them at home and away. If we can, gents, and Rich, I know you're about to shoot because you've got other things to do. So if it's during this link, thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
But, no worries, guys. Thanks for having me on as always. I'll speak to you soon. All right.
Cheers, Rich. Take it easy.
See you later.
Gents, if we can look back then since we last spoke, and a notable addition and something that was considered a surprise because none of the infamous In the Know accounts seem to be talking about it, as Jonny Williams signed. What did you all think when the news broke? We'll go in reverse order this time. So Ned, I'll come to you first. What was your instant reaction?
Even though I had my 13-year-old daughter next to me, I just repeatedly said Jonny fucking Williams over and over again for about 3 hours. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's crazy, isn't it? He should not be in our division. He is too good. You know, oh my God. You know, what can you say? I mean, like, he's just too good. He's too good.
And this is your reaction before he's even put a strip on yet.
Well, him and Jerome Sinclair, I can't wait till they both start playing together.
And it pointed out, I believe, that your little Ned report on Jerome Sinclair, this isn't the only place that's necessarily been heard, is it? That's
very true. 3 platforms now have it's been mentioned. So Charlie, if you're watching, pick up your phone. You know who to call. I've got some more, by the way.
You give him mates rates when you.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, Ned's reaction isn't too dissimilar to what a lot of people said. There's been a lot of sort of, I don't know, disbelief that it was announced. Ben, again, if I can ask you your reaction, and why is it you think? Is it, you know, the thing of the project? Do you think that's what sold it to him?
Well, yeah, Ben Garner knew him from the age of 12 when he was at Palace. So I guess that's something to do with it. And it's good that he's come for footballing reasons, and he could have had been better paid at a much higher level. But I think the Swindon, the way we play and the way Ben plays, suits his game. I think he's come here to find form. Whether he's going to stay here long term or not for another club picks him up, I don't know. Maybe because he's had such a poor injury record, he wants to just dip below the radar for a season, get a run of games and find form again, and then maybe move on next season. I don't know. But a player of that standard, he was at the Euros during the summer. That's just weird. You know, I would expect he's a good signing in the Championship. When I was driving home on the way back from holiday, when the news broke, I was driving back. My little phone flashed up, and I can't pick it up because I'm driving. My phone flashed up. I was looking at my sat nav, and it was still Davis writing, like, we've signed an international player. And I was saying to my family in the car, it says, right, he'll give it 20 minutes and he'll tell us who it is. And we're having a guess. And I'm thinking, oh, it's probably going to be Kelly or someone like that, or just some South Macedonia player that I've never heard of before, or someone like that. And then, you know, I sort of flashed up, I went, Jonny Williams. I went, Jonny Williams. And Jack was exactly the same. And I was like, he's good though. He's really good. I mean, like, he's not an up-and-coming 20-year-old, and he's not like 35. So he's 27. So yeah, it's just not for six. And he fits in perfectly. And you know, if he played on the weekend, we'd probably win. Same way as we have a striker, a good one who's a bit experienced. We win on Saturday as well. But yeah, I'm just blown away how good the contribution he have. He stays fit, and we rotate him and look after him. I think he's a massive asset, and also I think is a gauntlet thrown down to our intentions. Actually, really aren't just staying in this division, and the thoughts of actually progressing towards the top end of the league. And you know, I'll see where we'll go on about transfers, I think, another time. But I think the striker signing will be the big one, will be really where we're going to finish this season. We'll find out. But yeah, Jonny Williams, over the moon. Can't believe it. Still can't quite believe it. Even when watching him play, I probably won't believe it.
Well, I'm reliably informed by the Sky Sports News ticker to my right that there's still 15 days of the transfer window, so still plenty of time for that striker. We don't necessarily need to mention any that just happened to be in the stands Saturday. And that. Adam, I'll ask you your reaction as well, obviously, to the news, but picking up on a point Ben's made, fitness, track record, is it a concern?
No, it's Jonny fucking Williams. It's like the Catalina wine mixer, isn't it? It's a little Step Brothers reference there. But yeah, it's okay. His injury record might be questionable, but a fit Jonny Williams on his day is Championship level, you know. And even if we get him for half a season, he still probably will be our best player. And you know, I can understand why there's a bit of reserved hype as to why he dropped down. You know, there's definitely a wage drop, massive wage drop, I would probably say. But at the end of the day, sometimes believe it or not, there are footballers out there that buy into projects. You know, if they feel that they're in a comfortable way, you know, financially and stuff, they buy into what they see. Jonny Williams strikes me a little bit. And obviously, I don't know if you remember, I think it was the Sunderland Till I Die series when they were talking about him signing for Sunderland, I think it was, or he had gone to wherever he had gone to. And it does sometimes feel like he's the type of player who probably does see this as an opportunity to be a bit of a hero in like a season of almost coming from the ashes in terms of Swindon. You know, so I think it's a fantastic sign-in. I do wonder who's going to sacrifice their place for him, given how many midfielders we've got at the moment. But I'm not overly fussed by that. I have trust in Pep Garner to make the right decision there. But yeah, I think Ben almost got down the head. It does show a good bit of intent as well. We don't know if maybe there might be some promises in his contract that say, once the embargo is fully lifted, you'll get a wage increase and all this kind of stuff. To be honest, I don't care. The fact that he signed the dotted line and said, I want to play for Swindon, says it all for me. It's definitely the best signing since Tim Sherwood, and it's so I just think he'll do well. I think if he stays fit, it'll be absolutely fantastic. If he doesn't stay fit, it'll just be fantastic. It's one of those. I think it's a great signing. I think Ned actually found him and sent it on. It's that good a signing. I reckon Ned's being modest about it.
I gotta be honest. If I started to go, Jonny Williams, everyone would have gone, don't be stupid.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is a good time. Do you have any little nuggets of wisdom for a Ned report this week?
Well, yes.
Excellent. Strap yourselves in, boys. This is going to be fun.
Well,
Here we go.
I was thinking.
Just getting another coffee.
Because obviously, most of these were done pre-Jonny Williams. So, they unfortunately are mostly wingers.
We've only got £5.50 left in the budget now.
But as a sort of winger stroke secondary striker, I thought a person who's out of the team at the moment who looks all right. He's not the best, but he's all right.
Not the same, are you, Ned?
Yeah. Joe Dodu, who played at he went on loan to Cambridge, if I'm not mistaken. He was at Bolton for the 99-2000 season. 2021 was at Wigan. I just think he's got something about him which I wouldn't mind seeing. And he's available at the moment. But
can I just clarify, when you say the 99-2000 season, do you mean the 2019-2020?
1920, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it was just 20 years ago he was playing at Bolton.
That's it, yeah. Well, he's only in his 40s now. But I'm sure he'll be good. Also, someone as well, but I can't find a huge amount of information, is Shayon Harrison. Now, he was a good youngster, and then he went across to, he played for, he got injured, didn't he? He got injured, and then he signed up for Wimbledon, played a couple of games, and then just fell off the radar. He's not even in their squad list anymore, so it'd be interesting to see why Shayon Harrison isn't on their squad list anymore. And if he is available,
isn't he at Morecambe?
I don't know. I thought
he signed for Morecambe not that long ago, a couple of weeks ago, I think.
It could be.
I know that's not a bad shout if he's a free agent, but something's twigging to say he was because he was a top. You're on about the one that was Tottenham youngster to start with.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure he signed to Morecambe recently. I could be wrong, but I want to say he signed to Morecambe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he has signed for Morecambe, then fair dues. But I thought, I don't know what the state of his injury was, when he left Wimbledon. It just always a bit dodgems when a player just leaves all of a sudden. You think, oh God, has he retired himself, or is he just hasn't got the legs anymore, or he like retired or something. But yeah, so that was the two sort of striker position. But I was thinking about the sorry, go on.
If I can just jump in quickly, I've done a quick search for you, and according to both Wiki, which we know is very reliable.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, of course.
And Transfer Market, he's still listed as AFC Wimbledon.
Oh, right, okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Thanks. So either he's still there or he's unattached. So yeah. There we go. So I thought it would be a good shout, but there's so I've got pages and pages of this. Jaden Philigen, I don't know how his second part of his surname is pronounced, Bidache or Bidace, but he's from Villa. So I was thinking, older, surely can have a little word. But he looks very good. as a youngster. He is incredible. Whether he'd want to come down to League Two, not entirely sure. But after Jonny fucking Williams signing, who knows? Who knows? Anything's possible.
The problem is Ben wants an aging centre back. He wants one, that's gone through puberty, etc.
Oh, centre back. Oh, I ain't got no centre back. Sorry, mate.
On that note, sorry, I had to try and confirm the Morecambe rumor. I've just gone onto his Twitter. He did sign for Morecambe.
He did.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. Oh, we've missed the boat on that
I
one.
thought I had seen something.
See,
So,
this is all
stop
written.
doing Morecambe's work, Ned, and do some of ours, will you?
It's all written around the time when I said Jerome Sinclair, so we had a bloody chance.
Ned, have you heard about that guy from Derby that's doing the rounds at the moment? He used to be on the books to Swindon. I've forgotten his name. It's a Daryl Barrel one. But he got sold to Derby the same time as Bogle did.
Oh, right, okay. Or is it that one that's we're allegedly
About
supposed to be signing? Yeah. I don't know much about that one, unfortunately.
Before I move off Ned's report, scouting and transfers in general, just a quick one. What do you make of this weird thing that's going on with the lad from Everton whose name randomly seemed to have appeared?
That was strange, wasn't it? I was trying to work out whether it was a glitch because was it Google, the roster thing on Google that it first picked it up, and because it was his name, and is it something Gordon, Anton Gordon?
Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, Anthony Gordon, I just thought it's so strange. He's given him 42, but why has somebody put him into the Swindon lineup in the first place? I don't know. I think it's a glitch. It would be a very good signing, but I think it is a glitch in the system.
Well, we've got a selling point because we can say, "Oh, look,
we've got Jonny
Williams, haven't we?" So we've got Jonny Williams, so sign him, mate.
All I'm saying is, it's not a coincidence that since he signed, we've sold more season tickets. This one's purely for you at this stage, and I wanted to start looking at a few things off the field to an extent. Obviously, Kieran, who's normally on here with us, did it, and you did it at the weekend, taking kids to their first games. There was quite a few people tweeting that they were taking their kids to first games at the weekend. In terms of feedback that you were able to get, did he enjoy it? Would he go again?
Freddie loved it. I mean, he had the best time. He was. I've got a lovely photo of him celebrating the first goal, his first goal, which was Rom's equaliser. His enthusiasm was brilliant. He was gutted that we lost, and he was really sad that we lost. But now, he can't wait to go. His next game's on the 28th. If I can get to go tomorrow, I've got to sneak around him that I'm not really going because he'll be gutted if I do. But not take him. But yeah, he had a great time. We've got another little Swindon fan there. I think I've told him for life. I think he's got the bug because he just loved it and he talks about it a lot. So yeah, I'm made up. He loved it. I said it to him. He'll remember this day for the rest of his life, his first game. And it was good. He's good. He loved it, and I enjoyed the fact that he loved it.
Yeah,
because you get enjoyment out of that as well. So
it certainly adds an extra dimension, doesn't it? Obviously, I'm a Swindon fan. I've been a Swindon fan for many years now. My son's not really into football, but I have taken him to football games, and his first Swindon game, I remember his first Swindon game as well as I remember my first Swindon game. And yeah, we were lucky enough to win that day, and to see him celebrating and stuff. It was memories I'll keep for a long time. But for anyone who was able to take their kids for the first time, although we lost, I hope they did enjoy themselves. I hope they will come back again, because ultimately their future. We're not going to be around forever, are we?
No, we're not. We're not. They are the future of the club. They are the lifeblood of the club. My dad took me. I took Jack, and I've also taken Freddie, and hopefully they'll take their kids. And that's how it's supposed to be. Support your local.
Absolutely. In terms of our field, and I'll open it up wider again. I don't know if you want to jump in first, Ned. There's still a lot of optimism around for various things, and something that that you wouldn't expect to draw so much positivity, but it really has, was the county ground getting a lick of paint.
Just a bit of pride, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
bit of pride. It looks so good. It looks so much better. I mean, why we haven't done that? Well, we all know why we haven't done that for the last 8
We
years.
do know.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's just a bit of pride restored, isn't it? Really, it makes a huge amount of difference. And for the fact that it's the fans who have taken part in doing it, it makes it extra special, doesn't it? So, I mean, fair play. If I could have, took some holiday off work to join in, I certainly would have done. But yeah, my holiday's been taken up, so I got no spare time. I worked like 10:15 till 6, so I'm literally can't do anything during the day other than work. The missus then starts work sort of 6:30, so there's literally no spare time. Thankfully she's got the night off. But yeah, I mean, I just love it. I just think it's so good, and it really, really has made a big difference, especially if you're looking from the car park side. That looks so much better, doesn't it? I mean, good grief, it really, really does. So fair play.
Walk up, like, obviously I haven't been fortunate enough to go yet this year, but from the pictures and stuff you see, just that walk into the ground, because I would walk in off County Road and up that way, it just looks. It gives you that positive feel, from what I've seen. And I know, Adam, you were nodding along there. Do you tend to agree with that?
Yeah, I think the fan thing's a massive plus. I think that was a good move, trying to get the fans involved. I think it was. It was just a good thing to get the fans involved. There's a lot that needs doing, and if they can get it fan led, that's fantastic. Similar to Ned, I was actually registered to do one of the volunteer days, and then I was up all night with a toothache and had to go to the dentist. So I actually had to skip it, which I felt absolutely dreadful for, because I was buzzing for that day as well. So, but yeah.
Now.
Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine now. If they did one now, I'll be there. But I'll tell you what is looking good as well, is our commercial side as well. I think we're getting sponsors back, and that is what's going to be needed this year. And it feels like, I don't know if they had it before, because I've never really paid attention, but it feels like there's a lot more transparency with the sponsors, a lot more transparency with what's available, a lot more reasonableness with what's available. I mean, we were looking, Rich and I, in a separate chat that we're in with the lads we normally go with, we were even looking at, like, when it's my mate's birthday, we were thinking it's £1,000 for 10 people for to sponsor the match. That's £100 each. That's a good laugh, a good day out. If you're doing it for a birthday, but it feels really reasonable. And I don't know if that was still the price when we were under power. It probably was, but nobody really was that motivated to do it. But no, it is great to see. Although the white on the top of the Arkles probably needs another lick of paint to go over it. I did think it was a little bit. It looked a bit like my painting, to be fair. To be honest, it still looked better than what it was before. But the red on the side and the redoing where the Swindon stuff is and all of that. As soon as they've got that shop open, well, it is open, but when they've got it, properly open, the shutters and all of that kind of stuff, it will look really good. It would take us all back a little bit, and as soon as we can sort out what the hell's going on with the old trust office as well, not trust office, foundation office as well, once we've got that sorted, and it just brings it back and gives us our club back a little bit. But I think, yeah, if we can get fan involvement, sponsor involvement, we know that if we have any drainage problems, we've got the right owner to take care of that. And it's and even to a certain extent of when the floodlights need changing, you think of, like, you look at local small teams such as Abingdon when I was there, the first thing you're doing is trying to get a freebie cherry picker, is because you can't afford it as a club. And although we are a big club, it's quite nice to have that small local club mentality where everybody is just proud of their club and wants the club to do well. That beginning of the match on Saturday, when we had the TIFO up in the Don Rogers and all of that looked brilliant. 9,500 fans. There was over 9,000 Swindon fans because there weren't that many Carlisle fans. It just looked so nice. And yes, it's the first home game, but it's that buzz. It's that buzz that we're starting to get again. And I think the community feel came when we won 1-0 down, and the whole nobody was getting on their backs. Yeah, you get the odd tossers in the town end, including myself sometimes. I'm in the town end. I've probably criticised a few. It's even harder to watch as a coach because you go, have you ever played a game of football? But it's, but it's still, even in the town end, they'd run it on Saturday, that even when we won 1-0 down, nobody was like grilling the players.
Yeah.
It was, let's get back up and try and score again. And that all comes from teams being in the community. As I think I said it a few months back before Clem linked up. I said, if there's anything I want from this club, just something for the town to be proud of. And we're getting there now, and we will get there.
Just before I throw it open to Ben with a question, Woody, I do have one more for you, if I may. How come when we were trying to come up with a name for this podcast, you didn't throw in Tossers in the Town End?
I don't know, and now I'm probably going to get beaten up tomorrow night in the town end, isn't I?
Maybe we need a rebrand. We've got the name ready.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, anybody who's in the town end and watches this, I am only joking. But you're all tossers. I'm joking. But no, obviously.
Maybe that's the title for this episode. Ben, just throwing it over to you on the whole feel of it. We have to also mention the renaming of the stand as well.
Yeah, that's a touch of class, isn't it? Something that should have been done it should have been done straight away. The Alan McLaughlin Town End, brilliant, made up for it, fantastic. I read on Twitter as well from the what's his name from the trust, they're thinking of turning the Arkles into John Trollope as well. But great stuff to create our players, and especially Alan, who is an absolute club legend, and to have that there and for his family there to be there and see it as well. And then such a poignant stand as well. The town end is the life, it's the heartbeat of the club, is the town end. It's where, it's where the soul is, the proper supporters. We've all go in the town end if we want a bit of a sing-song, and we all want a bit of the atmosphere. And the fact that it's named after Alan is brilliant.
Or want to be called a tosser.
Yeah.
And if I can just throw in a disclaimer that if you are in any other stand, you are still a proper fan as well.
Oh yeah, no, I was at the Don Rogers with my boy, so I'm in the Don Rogers at the moment. But it's just like Jack wants to be back in the town end because that's where the noise is. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with any of the other stands, even the sit-down brigade in the middle of the Arkles. It's you're all town fans and you all support your club in your own way. But to say the soul is in the town end.
So this really nice feature in today's episode has taken a turn. We've discovered anyone in the town end is a tosser, and anyone in the other fans isn't a real fan. But other than that, league.
Disclaimer too, I've been in the town end for the past 6 years, so I also class myself as a tosser.
Just before we conclude with our views on the Tranmere game, we have done a Bulls Rush In Fantasy Premier League game, and Woody is very prepared with the game week 1 results for us. I presume I'm doing absolutely abysmally.
You could say that. I'm just going to see. Can you see it on the screen? No, you can't see it on the screen. I don't know if you'd be able to do some post-editing upload of a photo. But yeah, it's a good start.
We'll share it on our Twitter regardless.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, so I'll send it around. Oh no, you got access to it anyway, haven't you? So yeah. I confessed before we recorded that I actually forgot about it. Even
though it was your idea.
Yeah, and then I came back to it and I'm third. So obviously Rich is leading the way on 61 points, which I'm not going to live down for a while. So we need to get rid of that next thingy. And it seems that anybody who had Fernandez, Son, or Calvert-Lewin tend to do well this weekend. I have Fernandez and Son, so I was quite happy. And Rich had Calvert-Lewin as captain, I think, as well. So I think he got double points. So Rich top, Kieran second, me third, Ned, you're in fourth, Ben, you're in fifth, Gary in sixth, Fifey, you're in seventh, so not quite the strongest team in the league. The strongest team in the league holding up the rest is currently Wazza, Warren, so with Wazza FC. So it all, his team's very average. He's got Lloris on the bench, can I just add, who got 10 points this week. He had no faith in Nuno to absolutely smash City. But yeah, it's shaping up to be good. It's only week one. It all can change. You can go from top to ninth in a matter of days, or eighth. So it's. I think it will be good. Let's see what happens next week.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to your weekly roundup to hear how progressively average I continue to be. If we can conclude then with our thoughts ahead of Tranmere. Ben, you're first up on the screen. What are you expecting, and can I have a score prediction, please?
My score prediction. Well, I think our match itself. I think we're going to miss Kes Hayden quite a bit. I think, Rob Hunt will be right back in, and Dollar will be back on the left. I think it's going to be more of the same. I think we're going to be a little bit disjointed. Tranmere are going to be quite good. I think the first goal is going to be quite important. I think it will be 1-1.
Excellent. Ned?
Well, I'm usually quite positive for these types of things. Just before I give my prediction, I just put a massive request out because my nephew, who's disabled, was in the Don Rogers stand, and on the roof of the disabled enclosure, they were whacking it, trying to do the old do, and he did not have a good time. So anyone who's in the Don Rogers who wants to make a banging sound, please don't do it on the disabled enclosure. I just thought I'd chuck that in there. So sorry about that.
You tossers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not cool. That is not cool.
It's not cool. But there we go. I really like Tranmere. I think they're going to do extremely well this season. I think they'll finish in the top 4. I think we'll probably lose this game. Tranmere haven't conceded a goal yet. They've got some really good experienced players. Jay Spearin, Callum McManaman, Joe Murphy or Scott Davis in goal, Peter Clark at the back, who's just an absolute workhorse. Who's been, seems to have been playing forever. Liam Feeney, De Swerver from Salford as well. I mean, I think they've got a really good team. I think they're really organised, and I think we'll struggle. I think we're going to not score. I think it'll be 2-0 Tranmere.
Okay. Woody?
Tranmere, they've had a good start, 1 draw, 1 win. I think they lost in the League Cup, but nobody cares about that this season. I think we're going to win, just because I can't bring myself to predict us to lose, even if we are in this stage at the moment. Yes, they haven't conceded, but they've only scored 1 goal in those 2 games as well. So I think just because of the fact that we've scored more, and I'm going to renew my faith a little bit, I think Simpson's going to get his first goal for us. Yeah, I said it here, in the 68th minute, and we're going to win 1-0.
Well, do you know what? I was listening to you all, and before you said that, I thought, I'm going to be the positive one, say we'll win, and Simpson's going to score. So to be even more positive, I think he will react well to what's been said of and about him since the weekend, and I think he'll bag a brace in a 3-1 win.
Ooh, that's what we need, though. We need Simpson scores in the next couple of games. I think his faith would be completely renewed. A brace would be brilliant for him.
Simpson scores, we're on the pitch.
I know this is something you were tweeting a lot, Ben, sort of Friday, Saturday, but I'm going to ask you now. Can Jonny fucking Williams play? Is he left still, or is he able to play?
The news press conference this morning, they were hoping on getting international clearance for him to play today. I don't know how long these things take to clear. We don't buy international players, so I don't know.
Well, it's not just the internet. It's because he played for Cardiff, isn't it? Did he actually play a game for? He did play a game for Cardiff.
He played 9 games. Yeah. 9.
And it's nothing to do with his actual international isms. It's because he's played. Because I've had issues where I've signed players from Cardiff, even in the women's game, and they've not been able to play. I remember I signed a player who came over from Germany just on an au pair, and it took 28 days to get her international clearance through. And she was like a 19-year-old girl who was just over here on an au pair, and I ended up having to wait a month for her to sign. But yeah, I think that is the latest. I think, but I'd like to think that they're going to do it pretty quickly, aren't they? Surely he'll be eligible tomorrow.
They said they're hoping to get it done today, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I think I'm not sure if he should start anyway, because he's not played much since the Euros. So I think I last 30 minutes just to see what he can do. Throwing in there maybe rather than starting him, because we don't want to hurt him and be out for a couple of months, do we? So yeah.
Absolutely, very wise. Gents, I believe that brings us to a close for today. I would like to thank you again for joining me. Thank you for your opinions. It's certainly been interesting this evening. I think that's a good word for it. But as usual, I've enjoyed it. And again, just the usual closure. Anyone who takes the time to watch or listen to this, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. We hope you enjoy it. And if you'd like to get involved, we do have a Facebook page. You will find us on Twitter. Just drop any of us a message and we can certainly get you involved if that is something you are interested in. But I believe that is it. So Woody, Ned, Ben, thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your evening and we will speak again soon. And to everyone out there in STFC land, goodbye.